After a week of making purely product discussion, card analysis videos, as fun as it was, I kind of want to mix it up, at least for the first two videos this week, with two matches against Toss the Goat I had this past weekend. Shout out to him for letting me record it, especially since he's fairly new, first deck he is testing. And this match was a lot of fun. He got some great information. I also did as well, because for being new to the game, he also has some really great game sense. So definitely got some good notes out of it here. And this matchup here is a Voltempest control deck versus more capital water focused control deck as well. So definitely interesting here. Some great notes to make about control v control right now in Elestrals. So yeah, let's get right into this match here. So I rolled an 11 here. The roll wasn't shown here, just how I cut the video. So my opponent rolls and gets, or actually sorry, my opponent rolled the 11. I roll here and get the 7. So my opponent chooses to go first. And here my opening hand is quite nice. Shield of Achilles to have some counter rune support to control the board, drops a leaf if I need to shuffle some cards back in and redraw for some better cards. Boombat here, which is really nice against Foamy in this matchup, or just in general, just being able to easily out something. The normal chant doesn't really matter because I'm not trying to get ahead on board, just try to keep him off his threatening stuff. Elecheck to search out any Divine Rune, lets me grab an Aeolus to search out another card, or Zeus to modify stats to help stuff attack over easier, which is nice. And Toxion if 4 attacks all I need, and I can just burn an extra spirit to get me closer to game, one less spirit for my opponent to be able to use. So quite nice there. Rice Rose is an interesting draw. It doesn't do me too much right now while I'm behind, but if ever I can get ahead, just dropping Rice Rose can severely slow down my opponent on his turn, which is honestly quite nice here. So here, just kind of debating what I want to do. But the Aeromare of Note can attack over the Rice Rose, so I opt to go Elechick searching on Zeus. My opponent has no back row, so I will definitely get the destruction on Aeromare if I do it this play. So I just enchant it with 2 because I do have some knowledge of his deck list. We did play a match before this, and he was, I can't remember if he fully showed off his deck list, but he definitely got some, I don't think it was this match that he fully showed off his deck list, but I still had some ideas of what he was running nonetheless. So I knew he had a win package, and thus, this is why I also like making this play. So actually not even a win package. I completely lost my train of thought, I'm sorry. But yeah, he throws out a Galaxy, which can't attack over Elecheck. I just shield here. But I figured he might have some rune destruction as well. So that's why I only went 1 spirit on the Zeus, so I can't get punched by 2, and I don't have Griffuse yet. But here's the scenario I was talking about. I got ahead, drop Rice Rose. Now if he wants to attack over the Rice Rose, he's going to need Swirl It with the Thunder Spirit, which I do know he at least has Thunderstorm. I don't remember if he had it in this variant deck, but he previously had it. So he was running Rice Rose. And here's the P-Gust I was talking about, by the way. But the Rice Rose, well, he has the Thunder Spirit, so the Thunderstorm. So if he had like Sorlet, he can still attack over the Rice Rose. But also, the other reason I wanted to put it in defense as opposed to offense is anything that has 2 or more attack could deal with the Rice Rose. Like, say, if you want to misenchant a Foamy. Not that he was going to, but like, say he just decided to misenchant and had another Aeromare he wished to misenchant. He could attack with the Rice Rose. So I chose to throw it in defense here, so that could not happen. It's the only way Aeromare would be able to attack is with Atlantis, but then he wouldn't be able to attack because he would have had to throw a large bear on it. But anyway, deal with the Foamy with a Poison Tip Arrow. Really nice answer, so I don't have to deal with its effect. And I just throw down a Toxion. Here again, Toxion just being great just to be able to force a spirit without just on the enchant here. He does have the Tsunami, so he can't attack, but that's fine. That's more slowing me down than actually getting back in the board. And it's going to be pretty hard, most likely, for him to catch up here, since he's had trouble kind of attacking over stuff. And another Foamy isn't going to do it. So really, if you're in a stall matchup, you don't want to leave your opponent's Elestrals up on board, especially mine, which can attack over stuff more. And I just have a Boombat here. I actually do, funny enough. But I deal with Foamy so cleanly. So Water Stall, I don't think really, it is not very favored against this sort of deck using primarily Thunder here. And as you can see, my opponent just kind of forfeits here. I'll go back to it. Because he had 5 spirits left in his spirit deck, but also with 2 P-Gust, sure he could get rid of the Zeus. He could enchant a Galaxy, but nothing could attack is the thing. So even if he threw out, say, almost Station, Zeus, and then Elecheck to attack over it, and enchant an Elestral, it's just he just couldn't deal with the Rice Rose, meaning I had all the chances to answer his stuff as well. Now, he could have definitely tried to stall it a bit more, maybe throw out a Galaxy, force me to use the Zeus to attack over it, then throw out the most Station, hoping that I didn't have another way to attack over it. I did have the Boombat, but so he probably could have drawn it up, but with 5 spirits, it's really hard to be able to do that. I think that would have been his best bet, but I can understand why he forfeit here. I would have said that looking back on it, probably should have continued because he might have been able to play around it, but he also would have been depleting his spirits. I had twice as many spirits, so still wasn't likely, but definitely still something he might have been able to do to grab back the board. But still, he chose to do that, and he even made a comment how it just kind of hurt not to have those counter runes, as that's how I was able to kind of get ahead here. And I think that's an important note with these control v control matchups, is just these counter runes are easy ways, and probably even stuff like Earthquake and Resting on Your Laurels are going to be great ways to kind of dictate how that controlled matchup does, on top of the fact I made the comment about the Foamy not being able to stall as well in this matchup, Rice being really powerful. But again, he's just testing the deck, so I'm sure with a few optimizations made to help him counter Rice probably would have to be a Sorlet, but alas, it's just great information here, and it also really helps me if I look to build further decks, especially in like control. It just gives me more knowledge on it. So this has been really valuable for me. So moving into the next game here, he chooses to go first again. My starting hand is quite nice. 2 Aeoluses, the only 2 actually run in deck, funny enough. But they're really nice. I can just kind of search out either a Sorlet or a P-Gust to answer whatever I need to. Toxion, just a generically good card. Ambrosia to kind of get back some spirits. Not the best card in hand right now. And Shield, just nice counter in here. If he plays P-Gust, he probably won't be able to answer right throughout, just to deal with the shield. Not too bad. There. So I do go Aeolus here, and here I just search out Sorlet, as Sorlet is a really nice way to answer Molstation, because even if Molstation flips his attack, Sorlet can just run over it. Here, it's just a good answer regardless, as like I expend a spirit. It didn't matter what position my opponent was in. Defense definitely best, forcing me to expend 1 to flip it to deal with it. So good play there by my opponent, even if Sorlet does out it, but that's just going to be the reality when I play Wind. So my opponent throws out a Galaxy under Atlantis, so it hits 6 attack. I just shield that. Granted, I don't really have the answer in hand right now for it, but I draw into another shield, which is really nice. I'm really just trying to stall it out till I have an answer that isn't just Boombat. And Boombat's looking to be a nice answer here now that I'm up in Elestral, instead of just going neutral on the board, because it means that I still have control on the board. So quite nice here, be able to deal 3 spirits with that Toxion. Dog is great here just to draw my opponent more cards, hopefully see some more of his actual counter runes, because that's what he really needs here. And admittedly at this point he's getting pretty frustrated because he just isn't seeing them. Understandably so, as much as like I feel like my counter runes are swinging it. Again, just shield, just stall some more, get farther ahead on board. I can search out like Aeolus here. Nog's really nice to draw some more cards, but I can search out with like Aeolus to grab more stuff. But here's where I get some interesting cards. I can Toxion here again. I was debating it, but then I saw Griff used. And the reason I didn't go right into it, because I was like, okay, I don't have Zeus. So Voltempest can be answered by stuff. But then again, I've got some information on my opponent's deck right now. I haven't seen Laurels. I haven't seen Earthquake. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't run that stuff. I'm pretty sure I knew that he wasn't running this stuff at this point. So in this situation, I was like, okay, so Voltempest is safe here to come out. So I do exactly that. I do enchant Aeolus to get use of its effect to grab a P-Gust, just in case, because here's his best way to answer with Voltempest. Shield, or Poison Tip Arrow, if I chose to re-enchant. Not the best one, but it technically is. So here, I just choose to make this exact play here, grab the P-Gust so I can pop Counter Rune to be able to more securely hold on to Voltempest, and since he hasn't really been drawing them, he probably will, even if he top decks one, like P-Gust just deals with that. So Voltempest here just to burn 3 spirits and then attack for 4, setting him down to 4 spirits. That's really rough. And at this point, he's like, how do I out this thing? And that's kind of what I realized was, how does he out it? He doesn't. I can just kind of secure my victory with Voltempest. And here he just kind of reveals his hand. He's like, I've got no outs to Voltempest. Like, what can I realistically do here? Like, he had a Foamy. He could have stalled a bit more of Sluggle, but what was he really doing? I just re-enchant. And I have a Sorlet on board as well. Re-enchants Voltempest, burns him for 3, attacks everything with Sword, attacks with Voltempest. Sure, he could have nectared here, but maybe grab some counterings. But again, he knows I have the P-Gust, so it's just a really awkward scenario to be in with very minimal spirits as well. Foamy wouldn't have even saved him with the Boombat. So here, again, a lot of valuable notes. Even though this really frustrated my opponent here, understandably so. If I was in Snare, I'd be frustrated too. Just a lot of valuable notes about control v control, kind of what you need to look out for, what your deck has, and just kind of playing to those kind of, how does my opponent deal with this type thing? And there's a lot of great information from games like these, even if they're not the most highly competitive at all. Just this was a good example of a good deck testing game. Obviously, more deck testing needs to be done because variants like Voltempest won't always perform this way. My opponent got very unlucky. But just a lot of good notes there to show like how powerful some of these can be, how powerful if you know how to leverage your control tools are, how powerful if you like understand how your opponent's deck work, knows what their outs are, how powerful you can make your control deck be by knowing all of that. So again, just a lot of great notes here. But here I'll pop up my deck list here. Let me know what you think. Do you have any suggestions that I could change? Any questions about the choices I made? I'll still play testing, refining this deck, and I'll probably make a deck profile at some point about it because I do quite enjoy it. I do think Voltempest is one of the best 3-spirit Elestrals. By no means one, I don't think it will be a very meta strategy, but I think will be definitely a really fun and powerful strategy, more in like the fringe fun, more the fringe decks, and also just a lot of like fun decks, fun matches and such. So really enjoy it here. But if you enjoyed this gameplay video, comment down below what your favorite moment was. Did you enjoy seeing this deck? I love the interaction here. And of course, leave a like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you're notified when I upload more content. Shout out to you all for the subscriber growth I've seen over the past really week, 2 weeks. It's been really great to see. Really so close at the time of recording this, 11 subscribers away from getting the content creator tag on the Elestrals Discord, so I'll be able to post in that channel as well. So that's been really exciting to see. That's been a dream of mine up until now. It's looking more and more like reality. So thank you so much for that. And honestly, just thank you. I love just all your comments and such, being able to engage with you all and make all this content. So I really can't say thank you enough. I'm glad you're all enjoying the videos. And I definitely have plenty more coming out, from deck profiles, gameplay, to more product and card analyses, educational videos. That's what I really like, just giving you all information to be better players. The discussion helps me become a better player as well. I love that kind of feedback loop, all of that. Just really enjoying it. So enough about that small rant about this video. So look forward to more content coming out real soon.